Hello students, my name is Simran and I am going to teach you science. Students, in the last class we have discussed about the chapter number 5 and we have completed that chapter, its question answers concepts. Today we will be starting a new chapter of your syllabus, that is chapter number 6. It says about the changes around us. What kind of changes do we have around us? Okay, we'll be discussing about that thing only. Okay, so first of all students, have you ever thought of the changes that would be happening by magic? For example, many of us thinks about magic. So if we are having some sort of magical powers with ourselves, what could be the changes that you could have brought to yourself, to the world, to the society, to your family? Like imagining and just tell what are the changes that you'll bring. Okay, for example, look at this kid. Okay, he is imagining, okay, like if he would have the powers or the magic, what he'll do, okay, what the changes he'll brought. Okay, firstly, thinks of this boy. He is thinking of becoming a king. The change is to become a king. The next change he wants to bring, to build a palace on the clouds, right? The third change is to have an elongated nose of himself, right? Next change, his bed floating on the air, okay? Next, a cool pencil or a pen. This is the sort of changes that will only and only happen because of the magic, right? But if students, if I'm not talking about the magic, the changes because of magic, then there are also some changes that are due to the changes around us that occurs naturally. Okay students, so what are the changes that are around us? Okay, we'll talk about that. For example students, when you're having the journey from your mama's home to your nanny's home, okay, and if you are having that journey with the help of the train, then from the train you are covering the distance and you're just seeing the fields around that thing, okay, the fields. When you're traveling from the train, you see the fields, right? So students, in those fields the plants grow, okay, the crops grow from time to time. Their height changes, their width changes, everything changes, okay students. For example, we are having a look at the tree, okay, observe its length, okay, its leaves color, the falling of the leaves, the color of the leaves, okay, from time to time you will see that the trees changes, okay, the leaves of the trees fall down, okay, flowers blossom, the fruits ripen up, okay. So there are a lot of changes that occurs around us. For example students, in the field the crop changes from time to time, right? The crops do change. Next students, sometimes the leaves from trees, right? The leaves falls from the tree, okay, and leaves changes the color and dry out, okay, and flowers blossom, fruit ripens, and so many changes are there, okay, around us students. Now students, if I'm talking about these are the changes around us, what are the changes in us, okay, what are the changes that are happening in our body? Have a look, just think of yourself, okay, what are the changes that are occurring in our body? Students, our hairs grow, our nails grow, okay, our weight grows. As we grow up, you must have seen that 1-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old and so like that, okay. When you are growing, your height is also increasing. When you are growing, your weight is also increasing. And when you are passing from a child age to the teenage, you must have pimples on your face, okay. You must have seen the hormones that are changing in your body, right? So basically there are a lot of changes that are occurring in our body, right students? Like you must have seen that your grandparents, like your grandma, your grandfather, dada dadi, must have wrinkles on their faces, right? That are the changes that are occurring to their body due to time, okay students. So what are the changes that are happening in our body? Like for example, the nails grow, the hairs grow. As we grow, the height and the weight increases. All right students, these are the changes that are occurring around us, in our body, in the society, in the atmosphere, in the nature. So a number of changes are there if I'm talking about. So students, now we'll be talking about the chapter that is changes around us. And can all the changes be reversed? Means that can all the changes be brought back to the original position that they were? Okay students, so we'll be doing and discussing that thing only, okay. So in this students will be knowing the thing and observing the thing that can all the changes always be reversed we'll be studying about that. Okay, students. For example, you can have a look at this activity. This is a girl and this is a balloon, right? If you have a balloon like this, the small balloon, and you are just blowing the air in that balloon, you must have seen that the shape, the size of the balloon is changing, right, students? So a balloon changes its size and shape on blowing air into it, right? So there are changes that are happening to this balloon, right? So there are the changes that are happening to this balloon, right, students? In the next activity, students, there is a paper and you want to make a aeroplane with the help of that paper, okay? And you are folding the paper up and making the aeroplane with the help of that paper by folding it, students. So a toy aeroplane made by folding the paper, right? In the third activity, students, we are seeing that you have a ball of a dough, you have some dough and you are taking a ball of the dough, okay? With the help of that ball of the dough, you are rolling it up and making a roti with the help of it, right? So a ball of a dough and rolled out roti. You are making a rolled out roti out of this dough, okay, students? So these are three changes. That is, in the first, a girl is blowing the air onto a balloon, right? The second change was to fold a paper to make it an aeroplane. The third change, to make a roti out of a dough, okay, students? So these were the three changes that we have brought. So students, now just tell me, first thing, was it possible to get the balloon back to its original shape and size? Yes, students, it is possible to take the balloon back to its original shape because you haven't tied the balloon up, you haven't made any kind of physical or chemical change to the balloon, right, students? So it can be reversed back, okay, students? Next, students, like what was the next change? You have the folded paper and with the help of the folded paper, you have made a toy aeroplane, right, students? So question was the size of the paper same as before and after making an aeroplane? You have just folded the paper, right? You haven't cut it out. So that change can be reversed back if you just open the paper up, okay, in its original shape. It will be same as it was before, okay, students? So this can be reversed, okay, students? In the third, you have just took out the roll and the ball of the dough and make a roti from it, right, students? So it is saying, was it possible to get back the ball of the dough again? Yes. Take that roti up, roll it up, it will be like what it was before, okay? So these three changes can be reversed, students. So these are reversible changes that can be backed off, okay, students? Now we'll be discussing about a bit changes in the similar changes, okay, students? Have a look at the fourth change. What was the fourth change, the fourth activity? The same girl, the same balloon, right, students? Same girl and same balloon. This girl is blowing the air on this balloon. It has gone to its maximum size and shape, okay? And now this girl is having the pencil, okay? And from its sharp pencil, she's pricking it up, okay? What will happen now? Oops, it will burst, okay? So this is a burst balloon now because after she has blown the air into that balloon and it has gone the maximum size, she took the pencil and just pricked it up and the balloon broke, okay, it burst, okay, students? This was all about the activity 4. Now, students, in the activity 5, have a look. We have done a sort of small change into that particular activity that we have discussed in the activity 2. In this activity, students, what is happening? We are having a paper. We have drawn an aeroplane on that paper, right? In the second activity, we have just folded the paper to have the toy aeroplane. But in the fifth activity, we are having the shape of the aeroplane with the help of a pencil, and on that pencil mark, you are with the use of the scissor cutting that shape, okay? Means you are cutting the shape of the aeroplane from that paper, okay, students? So an aeroplane cut out of paper. This is now the activity 5, okay? With the help of the scissor, you have just cut out the aeroplane. What is in activity 6, students? What is in activity 6? What the change is that? We have the roll out of the dough. We have make roti out of it. And now we have put the roti on the tawa and baked it well. Okay. So we have make a roti. from that particular ball of the dough. This is a roti that is baked now, okay. In the tawa, on the tawa, it is baked now. Now students, tell me, can the changes in the activity 4, 5 and 6 be reversed back? The similar questions that we have discussed. Can the balloon be back to its original shape and size? No students, because we have, with the help of that pencil, we have pricked the balloon, okay. It is burst, it is useless now, okay. So this change can't be backed off, can't be reversed, okay. So it can't be reversed, okay students. Now in the 5th activity students, we have cut out the paper, okay, and have that cut out of the aeroplane, right students. So was the size of the paper same as before and after making an aeroplane? No students, before it was like that paper and now it is the cutout of the aeroplane. So the size of the paper has decreased, it is not in the original state. So this change can't be reversed back, alright students. Now in the activity 6, was it possible to get back the ball of the dough again? Just tell me, can this change be reversed back? If you have that particular baked roti and you are like squeezing it like this, can it be made in the form of that ball of the dough again? No students, it can't. So this change is also not at all reversed students, okay students. So in these particular changes and activities that we have done, we have discussed that there are some changes that can be reversed and there are some changes that can't be reversed students, okay students. So what are the reversible changes? The changes that can be reversed and backed off are called reversible changes. For example, we have discussed in activity 1, blowing the air on the balloon. Next, what was that? Folding the paper to make an aeroplane. The third, making a ball of the dough, okay students, from a lot of dough, right students. So these, the reversible change, the changes that can be reversed back to the original state is reversible changes, okay students. Now the irreversible changes that we have discussed in the activity 4, 5 and 6. The changes that can't be reversed back to its original state is called irreversible changes, okay students. So the changes that can't be reversed back to its original state are called irreversible changes, okay students. For example, we have pricked out the bloat balloon up and it is burst now. The second change, to make an aeroplane, we have cut the paper and made an aeroplane. The third change, that we have baked the roti out of a rolled out dough. So these changes can't be backed, these changes can't be reversed, okay students. So I hope that you are well aware about the reversible changes and the irreversible changes now, okay students. Having a look at the similar changes, apart from these reversible and irreversible changes students, we do have some important methods by which we can bring the changes, okay students. Some changes can be bring, okay. For example students, if I am discussing about expansion, things expand on heating, right? Things expand on heating. Expansion means to spread up, okay. It means to spread up, okay students. For example, if I am talking about expansion, you must have seen while we are digging up the soil to plant a tree, okay, or if we want to have some sort of herbs or shrubs in your soil, we dig that soil up, okay, with the help of these particular instruments like that, okay. How these instruments are made students? You will have that wooden stands, right, and these iron tools like. So you have to fix these iron tools like in the ring. With the help of this ring, you have to fit this ring in the stand of the wood, right? How this is done, okay, how it is like so fit that it is not rolling out, okay. How it is happening? This is happening because of the process of expansion and contraction, okay students. Have a look here, okay students. Metals expand on heating, this is a fact. This change, like heating, is bringing the change of expansion, okay students. How? While we are making this now, we just have the ring smaller than the size of this wooden stand, okay. And if you are making the stand of the wood larger than the size of the ring, then you must be thinking how it is fitting in this. Students, the ring is heated firstly, and if the ring is heated and then it is like fitted in the wooden stand like that, it is expanded then, because due to its heating it is expanded, and due to the expansion it is now fitting in the wooden stand. Okay students, now what will happen after the slowdown, after the cooling is done, cooling, like it will cool down, it will back to its original state and it will contract. Now students, this iron ring is completely fit in the wooden stand, and because of this fitting it is completely fitted in the wooden stand, and now after it will cool down it will contract, and this fitting is very proper. Okay students, so basically tools are often heated before fixing wooden handles. Okay students, this is why they are not loose. In the similar way students, as the metals expand on heating, they contract on cooling students. Okay, for example, when you are having the iron ring on this wooden wheel, you have this iron ring made smaller than the size of the wooden wheel. Okay, and when it is made the smaller size, okay, the heating of this ring is done, it is made up of metal, and because it is heated it will expand, and when it is expanded it is fit in this wooden wheel, and when during expansion it will fit properly, and after you have put down the cool water it will cool down, and after it will cool down it will contract and fit properly, it will be very tight now. So students, on cooling metal contract, cart wheel with metal rim fixed to it. So these are the changes that you perform to bring changes, these are the processes that you are performing to bring the changes. Okay students, apart from these processes like expansion and contraction, you are having the processes of evaporation. What is evaporation students? You must have boiled water on your home, right? If you haven't boiled, you must have seen the boiling water. In the pan you are having some water, boiling it well. Okay students, you must have thought and observed, then when you are just boiling it up again and again, the volume of the water is decreasing. Why it is happening students? Because on heating, on boiling, the water is changed into the water vapors. Okay students, so the process in which water changes into water vapors are called evaporation, is called evaporation students. So what is evaporation? The process of changing of water into its vapor form is called evaporation. Okay students, so the process in which the water is changed to the water vapors is called evaporation. Okay students, so in this you are having a look at the pan. In the pan there is the boiling water and it is evaporating, water vapors are forming. Okay students, so this is the process of evaporation. Next students, we are discussing about melting. What is melting? So melting is a process students in which the solid is changing it to liquid form. For example students, you have some ice cube, you are just putting the ice cube on the table and you will have seen that ice cube is melting in the form of the water. So students, the process in which the solid changes into the liquid state is called melting. So the ice is melting in the water. So this is called melting students. Now students will be having a look at the next process, that what are the examples of reversible changes. What are the examples of reversible changes students? Switching on and off the light, right? If I am putting this chair from here to there, it is also the reversible change. Once I have placed it here, I can also place it to the original state. Okay, so students, freezing of ice. Firstly, what is the freezing of ice? You have frozen the ice and after some time you just bring it back, it will melt and it will be in its original state, right students? Second, folding of paper. We have discussed it in this particular class that folding of paper is also the example of reversible change. Okay students, now the examples of irreversible changes students. Making of curd. When you are having the milk converted into the curd, it is irreversible change students. You can't back off that curd. Okay, so making of curd is a reversible change. Burning of crackers is also a irreversible change, students. You can't have the crackers back when you have blown it up. Okay, students? So these are some examples of irreversible changes. So students, this was all about this chapter. We have discussed about the expansion, contraction, we have discussed about evaporation, melting, and we have discussed about the reversible changes and irreversible changes of this particular chapter. So in the next class, we'll be doing the question answers of this particular chapter, students. Till then, do study at your home. We'll meet in your next class. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye-bye.